Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Views and I watch Predator 2 with the tagline Silent, Invincible, Invincible. He's in town with a few days to kill. Let's make it a bit more wider here. There we go. I've seen this movie already. Just like the first one, I've seen the movie, but it's definitely over 10 years ago. It's maybe 12, 13 years ago that I've seen this movie for the first time. And then I've probably seen it once or twice on television. I don't know. But I didn't remember shit from this movie. Anything. Well, except for the first part, Otherwise, from there on out, I didn't know shit. Everything was just poof, just gone with the wind, So it was nice actually to see the movie again, kind of for a first time, and hopefully I've forgotten most of the things for the rest of the movies too, and for next week, because next week we're gonna do the Alien franchise. I do remember things from tomorrow's movie, Predators. So the first Predator movie. I do remember shit from that one. So no, that's probably the one that I've seen the most. But let's just start with this movie, shall we? We're flying over, well, I thought it was a jungle, but apparently not. Because when the camera, went eventually up, we saw a city and it said Los Angeles 1997. Yeah, that's not a jungle, but it's Los Angeles. So going with the reputation, it's gonna be a jungle, And I think before I watched the movie, I watched a video from the charismatic voice from Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, and I think she said that that song was kind of written about LA, Los Angeles. So, me thinking that it was a jungle first and then showing LA, yeah, maybe I was kind of right. Who knows? I've never been to mainland US. I have only been to Curacao in 2009. So, yeah. We see LA, and we see then LA in thermal vision, the infrared vision, we see in the infrared, some buildings are hot, some buildings are cold, sure. And a bit later we see an explosion, first in infrared, and then it turns to, it changes to just normal vision, Water. Explosion, yeah, thermal changes. Then we go from the ground, a bit fire on the ground, I think we go live right and up, and we see some people with guns shooting. And then we go a bit to the right, and then we see the other side. It looks like a bit of SWAT team, so it's probably police, you know. Also guns shooting, so we're in a shootout. Nice. Um, we see one guy getting, from the police, getting shot down, and then the we see the KMAQ cable news gives a special report. But we're gonna leave it at that, because if you don't know what's going next, watch the movie yourself. So this part, this whole first part with we're in the city and the shooting, the gang part. This part I know, but this part I kind of remembered. But after this, apparently this is also the first movie with Gary Busey that I've ever seen. I didn't know he was in this. And Danny Glover. Yeah, I even didn't recognize Gary Busey, if I didn't if I didn't read the cast, next to the movie, before the movie started, before I clicked on the movie, I could see the cast as Danny Glover and Gary Busey, but if I didn't see that Gary Busey was there, I probably wouldn't have recognized him in the movie. And then after the crash, wait, Gary Busey was in this movie? No. So yeah, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is with my voice today? Let's just yeah. Let's just start with the thingies. Oh jeez. Yeah. If somebody lays in a in a crossfire, somebody's down and lays off. Don't be stupid and go try to get that person, because you probably also end up just like that person with holes in you. How do they do that in a war? Like World War One. The bodies shoot at each other. And there's probably some people that lay on the ground, or some medic that are just running through the bullets. Just running with somebody. Or was there from time to time a ceasefire to get the bodies of your comrades to get them to the medic? I don't know. I didn't live back then, but it's maybe interesting to know. Or just some useless trivia. But I'm curious, But just don't presume they're dead, Even though they're bleeding to death, Just presume they're dead. It's probably for the best, Otherwise, you end up just like that person, bleeding there in the middle of the crossfire. Yeah, and after you can kill them, if they're still alive. It's probably very, very harsh to say, but better them than you. I think, if you're fine and they are bleeding to death, too bad, too bad, so sad, too bad, too bad, so sad. Sorry, but we have to continue, otherwise I'll end up like you. This is probably why I'm still single. Yeah, we had a close-up not the close-up shot, but we had a POV shot from the predator, looking down on Danny Glover and Busey or whatever, other people. But the sound that it made while it was breathing, it sounded like a buck, Jesus Christ. Apparently, predators have other visions than infrared too. Great. Which is, kind of nice to know, but if you are up against that thing and you think, well, oh, I'm putting on some thermal gear that they can see me, yeah, too bad, because if you have a lamp, it can see that apparently too. Keys eventually, played by Gary Busey, he eventually died. He was cut in half by a kind of a circle knife thingy that the predator threw. And well, that thing was probably very sharp, but it got a lot of pigs in half that were hanging in the freezer, and it also got Gary Busey in half. But then Lieutenant whatever, played by Danny Glover, he turns around and he starts running. I would do that too, because you're probably not going to win against a predator. But it was a bit of a panicky music, sometimes a shriek, stuff like that. But the sound that they used, it reminded me of sped up monkey noises, and it was very irritating. Luckily it wasn't for the whole time, but just the time that it went on, it was not nice. It almost gave me a headache. And well, he did it. Eventually he killed the predator, in the spaceship. But one down, 9 came back. So, there's now 1 down and you have 9 other predators there. Luckily they didn't kill him and gave him a pistol from, what was it, 1917 or 1715 or stuff like that. So they're there for a long time already. And they let them go, so. Overall, it was a good movie. I enjoyed the movie. I think I will give this movie a 4 out of 5. Yeah. It was a good movie. Can't wait for tomorrow's movie, Predators. And for... We're the Millers. Leave likes, recommend good, Predator creature movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my second channel, Underdog Eats, where I do food streams every week, also downtime, hot sauce and alcohol. Or my third channel, Underdog Reacts, where I do, primarily music. Link down below in the description. And I'll see you guys, tomorrow for Predators. Or for We're the Millers. We're the Millers. Jeez, what the fuck was that for voice? And Blackadder season 4, episode 4. We're going to continue with Blackadder, obviously, and we just have 3 episodes to go. So tomorrow you get a new episode, and that's basically it. Bye.